Imam Kathim lived during the time of a few of the Abbasid Khalifas. The first of which was the Mal'un who assassinated Imam al-Sadiq. His name was Abu Ja'far Mansur al-Dawaniqi. He passed away. He had a son. His name was Muhammad, and his title was Al-Mahdi. They gave him the title Al-Mahdi. It's interesting to look at that history and figure out why they liked that title. Right? It's very reminiscent of the title of the Imam of our time. It's actually the same thing. Why did they select that? Why was that something that was important? I don't want to discuss that, but he was called Mahdi. And interestingly, his name is the name of the Imam of our time as well, Muhammad. But when Mahdi came to power, he tried to soften things as compared to the time of his father. Mansur was a very brutal man. They say when he died, there was this storage room, for want of a better word, that when they opened it up, it was filled with skulls. Okay. You hear that type of description from the Mongols. But this is Mansur al-Dawaniqi, Abu Ja'far. When he passed away, when he left this world, they opened the gates to it and they saw it was filled with skulls. Sometimes it says he would throw people in there alive. There was no food, nothing in there. He wouldn't even kill them. He wouldn't relieve them of the torture of having to be in there all alone and gradually die. He wouldn't do that. He would just throw them in there, lock them up, let them die on their own. Very, very brutal. He had taken a lot of property and wealth from various people. When Mahdi came to power, he said, okay, he's not any better than his father, by the way. Obviously. He's no better than his father. But the tactic changes. He realizes that this is going to lead to a massive uprising if it doesn't change, because there's so many people that are developing this hatred towards the Abbasids. If he doesn't change things around, then everybody is going to come and start fighting him, and he's new to power. He can't take that. He needs to soften people's hearts so people are on his side, right? So he starts calling people and saying, okay, I want to do justice to people. Whoever has anything that my father has taken from them, come and speak to me about it. He started giving that away and back to the people. Imam al-Kathim salamullah alayh goes to Mahdi and says something very interesting. Let me remind that I'm trying to say this and make this point in a very, very small amount of time, okay? So there's a lot that I'm skipping. I'm just giving you glimpses. Imam al-Kathim goes to Mahdi and says, oh, I hear that you're giving back to people what your father has taken from people. He says, yes. He said, then why is it that you're not giving our fadak back? All right. You're thinking to yourself, you're remembering what happened after the Holy Prophet. Fadak was taken from the lady Fatima Zahra. Where is fadak? Question. Where is fadak? Anybody? It's close to Khaybar. Somewhere north of Medina. Northeast, if I remember correctly. Of Medina. With a bit of distance from the city. Does it include all of Hijaz? No. If anything, it's a very small part of Hijaz, right? So what I thought before reading these types of ahadith is that Fadak was a piece of land that was taken from the daughter of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wa salamullah alayha. But listen to this, to understand what even the lady Fatima Zahra was doing. Don't think. Really, sometimes I feel, because of our inadequate information, our deficient understanding of the Ahlul Bayt, we lower their status to a degree that we say the lady Fatima Zahra went through all that trouble for a piece of land? Really? I thought the Ahlul Bayt of the Holy Prophet didn't have any attachment to the dunya. They cared less. I thought you guys always told us, Surat Al-Insan, the little bread that they had, which was all that they had to eat, they gave that away. Now a piece of land becomes very important to them. Aren't we lowering the status of the Ahlul Bayt? When we read this hadith, we start to realize even what she did when she talked about fadak. Land was not important to her. She's far too great than to worry about land. It's something different. What is it? Imam Kathim says to Mahdi, I hear that you are giving back to people what your father has taken by force. Then why is it that you're not giving fadak back? He says, what's fadak? He says, he gives him the story first. That there was a land that the Holy Prophet gave to the daughter, or to his daughter, according to what the angel told him. He goes through the whole story, and after the Holy Prophet, this happened, that happened, and so on and so forth. Naturally, what Mahdi is going to ask is, okay, that's fine. Tell me where it is. Could you draw the boundaries and give me where it is? I'll give it back to you. What does the Imam say? The Imam says the boundaries of fadak are the boundaries, in my words, okay? He gives certain boundaries, like he mentions Uhud as one of the landmarks that marks one end of it, and then all the way to the east, one landmark, to the west, one landmark, down south. Not only is it not smaller than Hijaz, it's much greater. It is inclusive of the entire Muslim empire. So basically, Imam Al-Kathim is telling him, step down. That's what Imam Al-Kathim is telling him. All of this that you're ruling over, your father was ruling over, this is the fadak. Step down. He scratched his head and he said, I'll think about it. Why do you think Imam Al-Kathim was imprisoned for many years? Do you think it's just that there's this hatred that people had towards Imam Al-Kathim? Why would he hate Imam Al-Kathim? For what reason? Such a lovely person, why would you hate him? Well, because he doesn't believe that man that is leading the government is justified in doing that. And he's not just thinking that, he's not just believing that, he's taken action. And he has the courage to come to the new Caliph and tell him, step down in this way.